Okay, so we left off of making our business card layout. Now I'm going to show you how to do your letterhead. So I'm going to keep this open. I'm going to file new document. Go to the print. Your letterhead is a letter size sheet of paper. Okay, so I'm going to click on letter. Make sure this is inches, right? The orientation should be portrait because this is where, if you have a printer, if you're going to create a letter, you're going to feed it into the printer. If you want to do it horizontal, that's up to you. Just got to figure out, how you want to structure your correspondences with people. But the idea is so you're branded, right? So I'm going to select the portrait orientation. I'm going to uncheck facing pages. For my margins, I will set it to 0.25 again. And if you have, color that you want to probably go off to the edges, I would suggest that you include like a bleed guide. And again, here we are. All right. So in my logo sketches and my stationery sketches, my business card, which is right here, there's similarities in the structure to my letterhead, right? I'm going to copy these elements and I'm going to paste this in my letterhead. And before I do anything else, I'm going to make sure I save, right? So I'm going to have my file on the desktop. Another thing is I want to use that color. So I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it. When I do that, it automatically adds to my swatches. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside really quick. And in looking at my sketches, I had my information, my contact information up on the left, upper left corner. For those of you that might have, your social media, like please, you can add that. And then I had my line vertical. I'm just roughly placing things, right? Since it's a letter size sheet of paper. And also, whoops, gonna copy and paste it. And on the bottom corner, I had my contact information. So I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it. Right now the text is all in white, so I'm gonna make the text in black. I'm going to zoom out. Now, the point of the letterhead, right, is so you can have space in the middle for you to write to your employer, to make a cover letter, to possibly adapt this layout so it can be your resume, right? So I'm keeping it very flexible, right? I have my color here. Now, I do want to make a couple adjustments. I want that a little bit bigger. I want that centered. right? So these are all choices that you should be thinking about for yours, for your particular layout. I'm gonna save Command S, right, for now, and I'm gonna go into my preview mode. Okay, so some things to keep yourself, to be mindful of, right? I want to create, like for mine, like a running theme in my concept is squares. So I want to make this corner area kind of roughly the dimensions of a perfect square. And kind of in making a square and doing a square, I'm looking at like the placement of my logo. I do want to make my logo mark a little bit larger. And then I'm going to do the same here. So yours should not look like mine, but the thought process, right, that I'm kind of making in like the concept of things, you should also be thinking about that. So I'm going to make that corner also squared off. I'm going to move that text box right there. Now I did want to add an element of color, and that's why I've got my swatch here. I really like this particular shade of teal. And so in my sketches, I was using kind of like the color blocking. So I'm going to have it. So part of the edge of my design is going to have color. I'm not sure if I want it both sides or just one side, because I know that when I write a letter, right, I'm going to write it, dear so-and-so, so-and-so, and then I'm going to sign my name probably right here, the date and text. Okay, so I'm going to keep that bar right there. Okay. I don't know what your designs look like, right? Like everyone's is very different designs. So follow your sketches or what you want. So some of you might have like a floral border around your edges. Some of you may have a background color. I don't know, you know. But play around. Like your sketch, yes, is your guide, but when you're actually in here, you'll see that you might be tweaking things, you know, while you're in your creative process. When you do have um, your letterhead, please, you know, double check your information, make sure it's correct, and then you can save. I did want to add just a couple more items so it wasn't whatever it makes sense in your identity. Got some basic shapes that I wanted to incorporate. Little pops of color here and there. Gonna copy and paste. And then I'm going to go to my preview mode again. I think instead of a solid, I'm going to make this a stroke, and I'm going to make it polka dot. Okay, so those little details, have fun with them. All right, so I'm gonna save this, right? I'm gonna export this as a PDF. You're gonna create one document that will be a presentation. So I'm gonna do my defaults here, export. Okay, so now I've got my business card layout, my letterhead layout. Now we're putting them all together, right? Because then the ultimate goal is for us to have a document presenting our visual identity and our process. Okay. And save. Okay. Now I get. So I'm going to stop sharing and then we'll move forward putting everything together in the next video.